Yes, good morning, everyone. Yes, am I audible? Can you hear my voice? Am I audible? Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll start the next module. See, this is the one we have discussed in the last class, the embedded firmware and the other system components. This is what we discussed in the last class. Now we are going to start with this module 4, which is embedded system design concepts. Once again, we'll continue with the embedded system design itself. Okay. Uh, and in the module 5th, we are going to talk about somewhat about the operating system. See, this will be very easy for you to study the module 5 because maximum 75% of the or 60% of the syllabus is related to your operating system. Whatever you study in the operating system basics, types of the operating system, what is a task, process, threats, thread preemption, how we are going to do multi-processing, multitasking. See all this tracing and deadlock, semaphores, binary and counting semaphores. Once again, they have kept these things in the syllabus. Okay. Uh, if you have studied well in the operating system, you can easily write the questions related to this. Okay. See here, more than half of the syllabus, it is all related to basics of operating system. Okay. Okay, we'll come to the operating system afterwards. Now we'll start with this module 4, which deals about once again the embedded system. We are talking about the design now, embedded system design. Okay, okay. Now in this chapter, what we are going to discuss is the attributes. See, if I say some embedded system, what all the characteristics will be there about that embedded system? You know about this, you already we discussed. Once again in detail we are going to discuss. See, if you have studied some things, you can repeatedly write if they ask the same topic in different modules. There is no need to write in a different way in different modules. The topic is the same. Okay. If I ask anyone now, is there any intention behind designing an embedded system? Is there any specific reason behind designing an embedded system? Anyone answer? Is there any intention behind to design any embedded system? Whether there will be intention or not. Please reply in the chat. Okay. Yes, always there will be an intention because we expect some functionality. We expect some functionality from an embedded system. Okay. Then then the characteristics of that an embedded system is, we say, or I say, it is an application and domain specific. Whether it is true, whether uh, an embedded system is an application and domain specific. Yes. Why it is called application and domain specific is, whether we have decided to design an embedded system means we are expecting some desired functions. If you are designing some micro oven means it has to heat, it has to increase the temperature of the items what we kept inside that. Or if we are going to design an air conditioner embedded control unit means it has to cool the environment, or it has to control the uh, temperature of the environment where that AC will be placed. That is why we say that embedded system, it is a very application and domain specific. We cannot expect a micro one to work like an AC or AC to work like a micro one. If you change the internal component, the microcontroller, totally an embedded control unit inside the AC's embedded control unit, you cannot directly replace with the micro ovens or micro oven embedded control unit. You cannot put it inside an air conditioner because it is unique. Okay, that is why we say an embedded system is an application and domain specific. Whether we can say it is the one more characteristics, it is reactive and real time. See, there are embedded systems which consist of sensors. Okay, the flight control system, anti-brake system, so many components. All these are they have the sensors. They are going to read some parameters from the outside world. They read from parameters and it will give you the output, or it is going to control the other variables. Okay, those systems, the embedded systems which changes in the output based on the input changes, then we are going to call it as an reactive systems. Reactive system means it changes its output based on the changes in the input. If the temperature of the outside is different, automatically the AC will tune to the some other temperature. It is means we are going to set it to the auto mode. In that way, it is going to change. From the outside world, the sensors or any other input devices which is going to read the data and it is going to control the output variables, then we can call it as a real time. We say an embedded system is a real time. Okay. The example is the flight control systems are there, right? They are the real time systems. The one more parameter which is an operates in an harsh environment. Harsh environment means the someone is not going to shout. We are not talking about that harsh environment. The harsh environment means that environment parameters you cannot control. See the temperature of that environment uh, or the electronic devices means there will be an area subjected to an vibrations or the shock, or if it is an outside environment means there will be a dust will be there. All in these situations, the embedded system should work properly. That system should withstand in all these operating conditions. On all these situations, uh, the embedded system should work properly. If it is an high temperature zone means all the devices should be capable of sustain to that temperature. If it is an uh, if that area is under the vibrations and shock means you should have a proper shock observations technique should be there in your system. All these things or there will be a power supply fluctuations will be there. For that power supply fluctuations, that factor also should be taken into the consideration for an embedded system. Okay, that we call it as an harsh environment. Operates in harsh environment means the environment parameters that we cannot control. We say one more characteristics as distributed. See, if it is an individual system, then the embedded system it is not going to work with the other embedded systems. One embedded system, if it is not going to work with the other embedded systems, then it is not called as distributed. If the embedded systems or many number of distributed embedded systems, if it forms a single large embedded control unit, then that is called as a distributed environment. Can anyone say which is an example of a distributed environment, a one embedded system that works with the other embedded system. Means if I update something from one embedded system, it should reflect in the other embedded system also. ಆ ತರ ಯಾವ ಎಂಬೆಡೆಡ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಗಳನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದಿರ? ಪಾರ್ವತಿ ಪಾರ್ವತಿ
Sir,
any example of an embedded system which is distributed? Phones and TV. If you update something, how can you say a TV? Database system? No. See, database system, if you go, you are very particular to the firmware. You are talking about a software. I'm asking about an embedded system. Embedded system, if I say, means there should be an hardware and also software. Embedded unit means hardware and software. And one embedded unit that interacts with an other embedded unit. From the latest technologies, we can even we can go with the phones, but not with the TVs. A best example outside what you are going to see is this: your ATMs, automated teller machines. There's ATMs which contains the card reader, right? Which is going to validate the user. It performs some transaction. It is going to give you dispatch the currency to the person. It will print some transaction details. The same things. It is going to update it in some other machine also. If you do the same thing, yes. If you do that is why I said some of the latest technologies. Based on that, we can accept the phones and the TVs, but not the older one. Since everything has become smart, we can accept that because everything is connected now. Okay. Yes, a distributed embedded system. One example is your ATMs. And also in the industries, there will be an data acquisition company. Data acquisition machines will be there. Supervisory control and data acquisition systems. What it is going to do? It is going to collect the data from any component. The other furnace ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, some energy level, some water level, some tank level, anything which collects the data, that is called as data acquisition. Okay. They are called as the distributed embedded system, that characteristic. Okay, next one, small size and the weight. See, an embedded system will become success when it is of a required small size and weight. See, if you want to try to go and purchase any mobile, first you will see the weight, the shape, the style, the size, everything you are going to check. You will compare the same thing with the other products. These will also will become a deciding factors whenever you choose this product. We always believe that always the small is beautiful compared to the bigger one. Okay. That is why whenever we go for designing an embedded system, as small as possible. As small means it is of required size. Small as it is beautiful. ಸಣ್ಣಗಿದ್ರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ functionality ನ ಮರಿಬಾರದು. You should not compromise with the functionality. The functionality it should give, and as much as possible, if you can reduce the size, try to reduce it. And also the weight, lightweight products, internal lightweight products, if you use, it is better. And last one, and characteristics of an embedded system: power. Without the power, if you don't discuss the power, you cannot call it as an embedded system itself. See, there are so many devices, embedded systems, which dissipates or leaves the heat, right? If it dissipates that much of heat means it is going to consume more power. Then you have to use the devices which dissipates heat, and uh, there should be an if you there is a chances of they assume there is a situation like this, there is a component which is going to dissipate too much of heat. In that case, what you are trying to do, you are going to add the cooling fans on that. If you try to add that one, what is the problem? Space problem, and system become bulky, and also weight also increases. That will also have an effect on the product. Okay, that is why it's a critical component. The power management is a critical component. Always the better the battery operated application will be a better one, but also it is a critical constraint, and you should use the devices which consumes very less power. Okay, these are all the main characteristics of an embedded system: application and domain specific, reactive and real time. It operates in the harsh environment. Should be distributed, and small size and the weight, and power management. Okay, you can create your own story about these things and you can write. It is not exactly you should write the same thing which is there in the a textbook. See, is it clear about these things? Now we'll go for the next topic. Do you have any doubts in the previous topic? Characteristics. Any doubt? ಏನಾರು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ವ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್? Okay, we'll go to the next one. Quality attributes. See, till now what we discussed, that you are going to see from the outside world, we say you can say it as in some functional requirements itself. The power consumption, it should be less. Functional requirement itself. We say these quality attributes that we are going to discuss, they are non-functional. Means non-functional means you are not going to see in the real time, but you are going to feel it. Whenever you use, you are going to feel that these requirements. And these requirements, the quality attributes, we are going to call it as non-functional requirements. During the design stage itself, we have to take care. It is not during the coding. It is during the design stage. Whenever you design the product, that stage itself, you have to take care about the non-functional requirements that your embedded system will support. Okay, 100% the functional requirements will have an positive impact. Even your quality attributes, if it is measurable, then that will have a positive impact on the product, on the system development process, and also about the end product. Positive impact is nothing but, what is a positive impact? Means positive impact means it is some information, it is positive or user friendly, and it will become success in the market. Is the meaning of that, or it will be helpful for the development process, means for production it will be useful, it will be helpful. Okay. Even in these quality attributes, there are two types. I said it is in the design stage you have to take care. Okay, operational quality attributes and non-operational quality attributes. Operational is nothing but in the uh, when it is in the use, when you are using the application, when you are using the embedded unit, In that case, you are going to see some of the quality, or you are going to feel some of the quality attributes, which is in the operational mode, or we are going to say in the online mode. Means the embedded system is in the running mode. In one word, we say an embedded system is in the running mode. You can see some of the quality attributes that we are going to call it as an operational. Non-operational means it is before the, it can be, you can say it is in the offline mode, or uh, we are going to say about the operational aspects. Okay, see this example, the operational quality attributes. If I say when it is in the running mode, when the system is in running, what is the response, how quickly it is going to give, time factor, throughput, means within this much of time how much it is going to do, reliability, means I'll discuss one by one. Maintainability, security, safety, these are the operational. Non-operational means, see, testing and debuggability, means it is before the product released to the market. Availability means how it is going to evolve by the updation of the hardware and software changes. Portability means to the different environments how you can move your devices, or how much time take to bring the product to the market, or what is the cost. See, all these things that will come under non-operational. Okay, we'll discuss this one by one. What is this operational quality attribute? See, this operational quality attributes means in that response. This is the main thing. Without this, we don't use the system at all. How system is quick in giving the response. It is a measure of quickness of the system. In the flight, a very good example for an embedded system in the flight. In the flight control system, if it doesn't respond in the real time, it's a big problem to the passenger. The safety of the flight and also the passenger, we cannot, the safety we cannot give. It's a potential impact on the, or you can say there is an impact on uh, the safety of the flight or the passengers. That is why the response should be in real time. If something changes, it has to change the other output variables. Your system, how fast your system, it is going to respond for the inputs. Whenever there is a change in the inputs, how the system is going to respond, that we are going to call it as a response. The response should be good. It should be in the real time. See, if it is a real time application, we expect that much faster. But the same thing in the electronic toys, whether we expect the same, no. Okay, but we are going to expect, but not the time requirement. It will not be there. Time requirement will not be there in case of the electronic toys. But in the same thing about the time critical applications, that is like flight, yes, it should be in the real time. In one line, we say how quick your system is, that is this response. The next attribute is throughput. There is an embedded system. Okay, there is an embedded system, or your example is the POS machine, which is called as a POS machine. ಯಾವ್ದೊಂದು POS machine ಅಂತ ಕರೆಯೋದು? Where you have seen POS machine? Can anyone reply? Have you seen POS machine? POS. No one? POS device. Point of sale. Have you seen this device? Have you seen that device? Every time, every day, you are going to see this. Okay, whenever you give the uh, your ATM debit card or the credit card, every time you have seen those POS device, right? In a single minute, how many cards it can read or how many transactions it can do in a minute or in a single day, then you can say that number as an throughput. You can say that number as an throughput. That certain number, like some 1,000, 5,000 cards it can read, that we are going to call it as a benchmark. That is a reference. Every device, for that we are going to set a benchmark. And these benchmarks only will be compared from one product to the other product. ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಎಂಬೆಡೆಡ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಸ್ ಒಂದನ್ನ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಥ್ರೂಪುಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಬೆಂಚ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ POS machine, okay, it will read 5,000 cards per day if I continuously read the cards. Okay, another point of machine, it can do only 4,000. Then that will help you to select the product. Or the throughput will say about the efficiency of a system. It is nothing but whatever the function it has to do, throughput is nothing but whatever the desired function it has to do, how properly it is going to do in a stipulated time. That we are going to check. That is called as a throughput. ಒಂದು ಎಂಬೆಡೆಡ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಫಂಕ್ಷನಾಲಿಟಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ತಾನೆ, ಅದು ಗಿವನ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಟೈಮ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, 1 day, 1 hour, 5 hours, how many times you can do it, that will give you throughput. That throughput, or we are going to check how many times it is going to do, that number we are going to set it as a benchmark. That benchmark we are going to compare with the other embedded devices that will help you in selecting a products. Okay, the next or the third attribute is reliability. The third attribute is reliability. See, whenever you design any embedded system, 100% it is going to fail some or the other day. It can be 1 day, 10 days, 1 year, 5 years. Okay, you cannot say that it is lifelong or until you die it is not going to fail. You cannot say like that. One or the other day that system and any system, it is going to fail. That percentage if you measure, that we are going to say it as reliability. How much percentage you can rely on that product for the proper functionality. For the proper functionality, how much you can reliable. 100% I can depend on that system. Every time it will give you correct answers, and any number of times if I use, it is going to give me correct answer, or it will proper work properly. Then you can say 100% reliability. But it is in the ideal situation you cannot say that. That is why there is a measure for that. What is that measure? What is this mean time between failures? Means from one failure to the other failure, what is the average time it takes? For every 2 years, it is going to fail. After that, how much time it takes to repair, whether in 1 minute it is going to be, you can repair that components, or you can takes 1 month to repair, that it is mean time to repair. MTTR, it specifies how long the system is allowed to be out of order following the failure. Means you cannot use it in that time. If it takes 1 month to repair, then that will be measured with this unit MTTR. Is not MTR, MTTR. And what is that time between the failures that we are going to measure is MTBF. See, these terms that we will always use with the reliability. When you can see these numbers about any embedded system, then you can select the product. A frequency of the failures, that will be in terms of hours, weeks, months. Yes, that number, by seeing that number, you can decide the reliability. And also by seeing MTTR, you can say that how much time it is required to repair. Okay, that is what this reliability. Sorry, any doubts in this response, throughput and reliability? ಏನಾದ್ರು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ವಾ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ? ಯಾವ್ದಾರ ಟರ್ಮ್, ಯಾವ್ದಾರ ವರ್ಡ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ವಾ? Anything which I want to repeat it once again? Okay. Feel free to send a message in the chat. Sir, ಏನು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಮತ್ತೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ಅಂತನಾರು ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆ ಸರ್ ಅಂತನಾರು ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಕೂರ್ಬೇಡಿ. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Some of you are responding. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the others, those who don't repeat. Okay. See, if you just remember the story, what I say, that based on that story, you can create your own story and write it in the exam with some technical words. That much technique if you have, then you can easily write the questions related to the embedded system. Okay, what is this mean time to failure or MTTR, all those things. Okay, maintainability. I think you have heard this word, maintainability. ಈ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಮೇಂಟೆನೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಪ್ಪ, ಮೇಂಟೆನೆನ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಖರ್ಚಿದೆ. You have heard this type of words. See, whenever if I take some printer, if I say some printer, do you have any maintenance charges in that? If I talk about the printer, do you have any maintenance charge? If I talk about maintenance, ಈಗ ಪ್ರಿಂಟರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೇಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೇಂಟೆನೆನ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಖರ್ಚಾಗುತ್ತಾ? Whether we have to pay for some maintenance. Sir, we don't know the word of meaning of the word maintenance. See, maintainability means it's a support and the maintenance to the end user you are going to give because of some technical issues in the devices or the product has failed, or a normal routine checkup, all these things we say it as some maintainability. Now the printer what we buy, do you have any maintenance? Yes. Okay, if it is maintenance, which is called as a maintenance in case of the printer? Which is called as a maintenance? Good Radhika, it is a toner. See, the cartridge which is going to be, which you want to refill, that we are going to call it as an periodic maintenance. See, this periodic maintenance or the scheduled or the periodic maintenance, this one, this number That will be given by the company itself. After printing 1,000 sheets, you have to refill the printer cartridge, or you have to replace the cartridge. That is called as scheduled or periodic maintenance. Maintenance to the unexpected failures means if the printer has to print something, if it doesn't print in the proper way, then that is called as second one, corrective maintenance. You have to check the components, maintenance to the unexpected failures. If it doesn't print, then you have to service, you have to check the internal components. The next question is whether this maintainability will have an impact on the availability. ಈ ಮೇಂಟೈನಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇಂದ ಅವೈಲಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಅಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? Do you have any impact? Availability. Whenever you are repairing a device or whenever you are replacing the cartridge, whether the person can use the device? No. Then in that time, the device is not available. That is why maintainability has an impact on the availability. In order to measure that availability in the ideal conditions, we are say ideal conditions, see the formula to calculate the availability. Mean time between the failures divided by mean time between failures plus the mean time to repair. If you calculate this, then you will get how much time it is available in the ideal situation. We don't know about the external factors. If you feel that everything is good outside environment, no other problem for the embedded device, in that situation, you can calculate the availability in terms of hours or in terms of minutes or in terms of days. Okay. Always this maintainability will have an impact on the availability. What about this security? Any embedded system whether it requires security? Yes, without that security, no one will design the devices in nowadays, because everyone will try to tamper, intentionally or unintentionally is going to tamper those devices. That is why if I talk the word security, there will be three terms will come into picture: this confidentiality, integrity, and availability. See, confidentiality means if you are not a authorized user, you should not see that data. Unauthorized disclosure should not be there. If you are not a authorized user, if I am set the paper for the exam, until that time, 2 o'clock or morning 9:30, the student should not see those question paper, right? That is what the confidentiality. We have to protect the data from unauthorized user. After that time, specific time, some 9:30 or 2 o'clock, yes. Integrity is nothing but whatever the question paper which I set for the exam, that should not be altered by anyone. Until it is given to the students, it should not be altered by anyone. Whatever I said, the same thing should be given to the data. In that way, unauthorized modification other than me, no one should change the data. That is called as integrity. Availability means it is once again come to the that the data which has been available for the user when it is required. Okay, but for the authorized user, it should be available, that data. The example what they say is the PDA devices is, sorry, example for an embedded product which talks about the security aspect is PDAs. See, personal digital assistants, it was very so famous before our smartphones were coming to the market. They're so famous, but now they have been totally replaced by our smartphones, iPads, everything. All the digital tasks what you used to do about the browse in the browser or any other computations, some calculator, any other operations, everything we used to do it in the PDS. It was a touch screen. So you can see PDA devices like this. See these devices. Now they have been replaced by the all our smart devices. No one is going to purchase this PDS, personal digital assistant, okay, which has some security, all the security aspects that is being covered in those PDS. Okay, the last one is the safety. See this say. What is the safety in the embedded system? What is why this word safety in the embedded system is? See, this embedded system got crashed because of the hardware failure or the software failure. What happens to the outside world? That we are going to say about the term called safety. Because of the breakdown of an embedded system due to the hardware failure or the firmware failure. Firmware we are saying software failure. What is the damage it creates to the outside world? That we are going to say it as safety, and that should be very less. Even though if there is a breakdown of any component, it should not hurt the outside world. Okay, that you have to take care whenever you design the product. Whenever we design the product, we should take care about that. That is what this safety is all about. The damages creates to the operator or to the public or to the environment because of the breakdown of an embedded system. Is it clear? Which are the quality attributes? That to operational, response throughput, reliability, maintainability, security, safety. Any doubts in that? Or anyone, do you want to add any other attributes to this? Or do you feel that, sir, this attribute, it will not come under operational quality attribute? Do anyone want to argue? Yes, that discussion we can continue. It is not. I should go to the next topic, sir. ಈ attribute ಬರದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ. Operational quality attribute ಬರದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಹೆಂಗ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. If you have any feeling like this, if anyone have feeling like this, no. Okay, is everything understood about this operational quality attributes? Do you have any doubts in this? Safety, security, maintainability, response, reliability, throughput. No, yes, yes, sir. Okay. Okay, this non-operational quality attributes that we discuss in the next class. Now you can send your attendance and you can exit.